Welcome back to Daytime. You know, I love when Dr. BJ Hardick is here. He's so informative. I always learn, and it's things that, you know, we do on a daily basis. You go shopping and, you know, well, sugar, what? And salt? No,
Yeah.
I would never think, right? Anyhow, he has a seminar coming up Saturday, October 15th from 9 until 2, where he'll talk about all things health related and go over some recipes as well from Maximize Living, his book there.
And I know you can't see him right now, but
He
just
is
as
chomping.
a testament to the how tasty his stuff is, he's actually got his cheeks
He looks like a chipmunk
jam-packed right now.
So funny. Okay, well, speaking of eating, I did a lot of that when I was pregnant and not a whole lot of exercise, but it is important to do that. And Kari is here from Empower Conditioning. And Kari, it's one of the things that, you know, I got the green light from my midwife. I was stressing the baby out because I wasn't giving into cravings, and I also decided, hey, this is my opportunity to just not exercise. 85 pounds later, I kind of regretted some of those decisions. Ouch. Right?
Yeah, and that's much harder to deal with after the fact than deal with it initially during the pregnancy, because really you only need, as a pregnant woman, you only need about 200 to 300 extra calories per day for the development of your fetus. And the thing is that can be that extra milk that you're drinking or the extra protein that you're taking in to sustain the growing baby.
So you're suggesting that exercise, because many women will have body issues after they give birth, exercise is a great way to offset the weight that you'll put on.
Absolutely. And really, women who are normally active, they should stay active throughout their pregnancy. The only limitation to that really is if they've got some sort of health issue, if they haven't been cleared by the doctor, if they've got a high blood pressure issue, a preeclampsia, there's a few pregnancy issues that they may not be able to exercise. But for the most part, most women, the majority, should be exercising throughout. And it's more stressful to your own body to stop something that you were normally doing ahead of time than to continue on while you're pregnant. So if you're currently exercising, exercise, continue on for sure.
You know, all too often we hear postpartum depression, and weight can be one of the issues surrounding postpartum depression as well, right?
Women who exercise throughout their pregnancy have more likelihood of having a positive outlook and a better mental frame of mind. They have more likelihood of a normal birth weight baby. They have more likelihood of losing the weight right after and maybe only having about 5 pounds of weight to lose. The suggested weight gain throughout a pregnancy is 25 to 35 pounds for an average woman. I'm a bit smaller than that, so for me, I would gain less than that, but for most women, it should be around that 25 to 35 pounds. Then after, they're not looking at trying to lose a matter of 40 or 50 pounds, because then it's hard. And the number one catalyst, I don't want to say cause, I want to say catalyst of obesity and overweight in women is pregnancy, because the pregnancy isn't the cause of the overweight or becoming obese. It's the fact that they've either eaten too much or become inactive throughout the pregnancy. But so pregnancy becomes the catalyst for the number one catalyst for becoming overweight or obese for women. And usually the husbands tend to fall in line with that and go hand in hand with it. So really, if they're exercising already, don't use pregnancy as this free rein to stop exercising, eat everything, eat for two. You don't need to do that. I trained throughout.
There's so much pressure from everybody. Oh, it's okay, you're eating for two. Go ahead and have another cheeseburger.
I felt it too, and I would get, actually in a gym, I would get dirty looks and comments if I was training or jogging when I was pregnant. So, I mean, I have an 8-month-old baby. I ran throughout the whole pregnancy. My 11-year-old daughter, when I had her, I only ran until 8 months. It's what's comfortable to your body, what you know is right. I lifted weights throughout, but then that allowed me to be training within 2 weeks after having the baby because I stayed fit throughout. So it's just, that's an example. That doesn't work for everyone, but you go with how your body feels and what your previous capabilities were, what your normal activity levels are, and that should dictate what you're doing throughout, as long as it's a healthy pregnancy.
Yeah, I mean, once you get the news that you're pregnant, if you haven't really worked out before, you could still get into some moderate activity, but you're not starting to train for a marathon once you know you're pregnant.
It's going to be a reasonable change, such as walking or some other perhaps non-impact activities. It could be light weightlifting, things like that. But if you're used to doing a fairly vigorous routine of exercise before you got pregnant, then that should be carried on essentially as long as everything is healthy. Otherwise, you're really doing your body a disservice and your baby a disservice by not continuing on, because the placenta adapts and your baby gets plenty of nutrient. I only gained 18 pounds, yet I had an 8-pound, 1-ounce baby. So it's not, and I trained throughout. So it's not
Wonder Woman over here.
The baby doesn't get deprived is the point, really, because what happens is the placenta adapts and gleans the nutrients that it needs for the baby, and the baby doesn't get deprived. It's very active and very healthy, and I think my baby's going to walk any day. She's not even 9 months. She's crazy.
So knowing how tough pregnancy can be on joints and ligaments, is there like one particular body area that women should target over another?
You know, for me, I really couldn't have done without squat movements, because right now, with how heavy the baby is and how many things she drops or how many things are getting chucked on the floor, I'm up and down so many times. The thing you have to be careful of is a hormone that's released during pregnancy called relaxin, and it's released so that the ligaments can become more lax and spread apart a little more. So that's the only thing you have to watch for, is just your ankles might feel a little more wobbly, your joints might feel just a little looser than they normally are, and that's from a pregnancy hormone, and that carries on a little bit after pregnancy too. So you might feel like just a little different through your joints, but then everything, then that hormone dissipates and it's not released anymore.
There was no such thing as ankles when I was pregnant. I called them cankles.
I was going to say there's a name for that.
Yes, we called them cankles.
Well, I was going to ask if these exercise tips also apply to men who may look like they're 4 or 5 months pregnant.
Yeah, they don't have that hormone being released, and they don't have an excuse for the other hormonal emotional reactions, but yeah, they got to get at it too. So
Kari, my daughter's 4 years old now, and I'm still trying. I mean, most areas I've been okay with. It's the belly. The belly, I still have that little saggy mommy pouchy thing that's happening. Okay, I just said it. I do, and I don't know how many crunches, it's there. It will not go away, and I'm kicking myself for every spoonful of ice cream that I had during those 9 months of pregnancy.
Yeah.
Can I get rid of that? Is it possible?
It can. For many women, it is possible. It really depends on the woman and the body type and things like that. But usually it's not a matter of the crunches. As long as there's that abdominal muscle wall that's fairly strong, it's typically usually that little extra bit of fat that's on top, and that's body comp. So that's going to be your eating habits, that's going to be the cardiovascular exercise. Those things are going to be your two main, and your weight training as well, because that's going to help with your body composition, carrying more muscle mass, more lean tissue, hungry tissue, increasing your metabolism. That will help you burn more fat. That is going to, so it's that change in body composition that you want. So if you know that you've gotten stronger, that your abdominal wall is just as strong as it was pre-baby, then now it comes down to the other habits that will come into changing the body composition, bringing that back down.
You're going to tell me to get rid of my red wine. I know it.
You know what? Everything in moderation, right? But make sure that something that is a treat is a treat. It's not a daily occurrence kind of thing. So make it still feel like a treat.
All right. Kari, thanks so much for stopping by.
No problem.
Empower Conditioning is located at 206 Piccadilly Street, right downtown in London. EmpowerConditioning.com online as well.
And on Facebook and Twitter at Empower Conditioning.
There you go. All right. So, did you learn anything?
I did. I learned